All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are on Ohana, and down at the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have our red Zerg player from Team SCV Life. It is HyuN, and he's won 9 weeks in a row here at Fight Club. And the guy who's trying to finally take him down is the newest member of Team Liquid, our blue Terran player up here in the upper left-hand corner. It is C.
Okay, so we did pop into the thread just a little bit between games, and people are saying, 5 months. He's been playing 5 months at least, but I think HyuN's been playing a little bit longer still.
Yes, I mean, quite a bit.
It's still kind of unfair to say that. I mean, he's had the same amount of exposure or anything like that. I did not realize that the hybrid tournament started in May. Isn't it October now? I feel like I don't remember the last 5 months at all.
This year has gone by exceptionally quick. I can't believe
it really has.
We're a month and a half from 2013. That seems staggering to me.
But we're even less time than that. Wait, no, we're 2.5 months from 2013. You got all of November and all of December.
Oh yeah, 2.5 months. I'm sorry. That's yes, you are correct.
Wait a second. You are making it seem.
It's not 10.5. It's 9.5 months into the year. When I think October, then I think we're halfway through, then I think 10th month, and then I try to do the subtraction from 12, and I get 1.5, and that's just silly.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's still a month and a half from IPL 5,
yes.
So how can it be a month and a half?
2.5 months.
Yeah, well,
but still, the point remains.
Really what threw me off was when he said it's a month and a half until 2013. I was like, well, but it's only a month and a half until, and I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. I was going to say it's only a month and a half until the end of the world, because that's
I figured
coming
that's
up.
what you were going to say.
So,
yes. We've all marked it on our calendar.
Yeah,
so.
There's parties.
Yep.
There's end of the world parties. If you haven't found one, I'm sure if you check Reddit for your city, there are probably end of the world parties in the works.
Yep.
Definitely don't want to miss that, because it probably is going to be the last.
I can't wait
party.
for this though to become a self-fulfilling prophecy where everyone is just convinced that it's the end of the world.
Destroy the world.
Yeah, then they do something catastrophic. The world actually ends as a result of them doing something in preparation for the end of the world.
That is kind of scary to think about. Anyway, we do have a spawning pool for HyuN, so there's that actually can distract us away from the end of the world destruction there for a little bit. Command center coming up for C as well. Actually, kind of interesting. He's dropping the command center without any bunkers at the front or anything like that. Still building everything up inside of his main.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, everything's pretty standard out of our players so far. HyuN, of course, going for his pool and a gas. This is another one of the maps that he does like to put on some roach pressure from time to time. It's just as easy for him, though, to execute that strategy I was talking about before, which is, of course, the 6-minute hatchery, and then following that up with the roach war and a couple evolution chambers. So we'll see how greedy HyuN wants to be. One Marine has started to make its way across, and the first couple of Zerglings are only now coming up, and this has actually done quite a bit of damage here, forcing HyuN actually into making an extractor. And all right, I like the little pressure from C there. Good move.
That's interesting. Yeah, he traded a few HP for some denied mining time and some minerals there from HyuN. That is kind of an interesting first swing there. I wonder if C. Oh no, he already had his first extractor built. I was going to say he could have just left it on there, but he already took care of that. Zergling speed is actually being produced way earlier than it was in the previous game, which makes me think that that early roach pressure is maybe less likely.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely the case. Of course, C taking a page out of his teammate Tasia's playbook and going for a quick third command center, as he will have a very nice economy to support the middle of the game. And we'll see what HyuN wants to do as a result. I don't think he's picked up on the third command center yet. No, he has not. But time's getting right now for another command center. Oh, HyuN making a huge round of lings, 18 of them, as a matter of fact. This is kind of a blast from the past. This is the reason that Terran players started putting bunkers, say, back here. It seems like to me, HyuN is doing all the things that tests a newer player. Like, okay, you handled roach pressure and you forced me into the late game. Now try this big round of speedlings and let's see if this kills you.
Yeah, and then next game we'll see Mass Muta, and then next game, I don't know. But either way, like, there are obviously a ton of builds HyuN can throw at him. He still gets that hatch down near the 6-minute mark for his third base, but all these speedlings, like you said, that is a reason why the bunker is usually placed a little bit back more, because now these lings can actually just run right past the bunker. They could actually get into that natural mineral line probably and be able to do some damage, but he looks like he does just want to surround this bunker fully. He does actually manage to destroy it and all the SCVs repairing. Instead of finishing off the Marines, he actually heads up over to that reactor as quick as he can. There may have been a window there for him to be able to get into the main, I'm not sure, but either way, he can stop this mule from being able to contribute. He can start hacking away at the orbital command, and now that 2 Marines are popping out at a time for C, he should be able to thin out the herd here.
And he's got to lift off this orbital command in just a second, which he will do, yeah, just before it starts lighting on fire. And looks like he was able to get down this reactor factory at the same time. So these Zerglings will be driven away. They're just trying to be as annoying as possible. If they catch a refinery, that's actually a pretty big benefit. Yep,
they are going to destroy that refinery. They obviously killed a handful of units. Yep, 6 workers as well. We had 2 SCVs sent away from the natural. It looks like he just clicked arbitrarily and said, run SCVs, run as far as you can, without actually entering HyuN's base. That would be preferable, because if he did that, he'd probably still lose them, I think. But either way, Vikings coming out very early now for C. No Banshees or anything like that. He's just going to get that first Viking out to do some Overlord hunting. So at least he's caught on to that as a good way to stay in the game. That's good.
Yeah, I like C's adaptability. He knew when the Zerglings were coming to not pull off the barracks off of the reactor right away, and then decided to swap onto, or build a separate tech lab afterwards a little bit later, but produce a Viking in the meantime to still utilize his resources and try and start working an advantage back into this game. So obviously a player who has a lot of experience playing these sorts of games, and he's going double armory, so we're going to see mech out of Liquid.Sea.
Oh, poor SCVs run right into a waiting patch of Zerglings. We've got a ton of Hellions, 5 to be exact, already out at the Xel'Naga Tower, ready to run in at a moment's notice. Cloak and Banshee both coming up this time. I don't believe he got Cloak last time, just kind of went in there and tried to kill some queens as quick as he could. But with Cloak, he should have a little bit better opportunity to take some free drone kills. I don't know that he's built any Spore Crawlers. There's actually the first one coming up now.
Yeah, so Spore Crawlers are on the way. That'll temporarily put a stop to Banshees, of course. This Viking has actually gotten 2 kills already, so it's been quite annoying. It's paid for itself. That does almost supply block HyuN at the moment, so he'll have to invest a little bit more into upgrades and such.
All right, 30 Zerglings actually being produced for HyuN. I don't believe he has a Baneling nest yet, so would be a little bit curious if he's actually going to try and keep attacking with these, or if he's just going to keep hoarding them, making tons and tons to do one bigger attack. There's actually something happening at the natural. Looks like some Lings did get in. There are some Hellions available, though, to put a stop to that pretty quickly.
And these Hellions got completely surrounded outside of HyuN's base, so not a lot being done there. The Banshee is flying overhead at the moment, and it looks like he did stop Cloak, so let's see if he sacrifices a Banshee again to try and kill a queen. He will not, so no real economic damage being done. Once again, just having to defend against these large rounds of Speedlings.
Yeah, all these Lings able to surround and kill the Hellions again. C did move them to the side of the map, though, to reduce the surface area. Look at that, HyuN barely getting past those SCVs and able to surround the bunker completely. That saved him so many Lings and is going to allow him to do a ton more damage than if any SCVs had been able to respond and get to that repair as quick as they could. Those depots are down, perhaps trying to bait the Lings up, but no, he is going to go for the easy target on the low ground, take out a couple more SCVs, maybe even this Hellion as well. It's getting clawed to pieces and getting repaired back up, though. Another Banshee has returned to save the day. 35 workers killed. Again, huge amounts of workers being killed of Liquid.Sea, and HyuN is able to follow up. He's got, let's see, his production tab. 12 more Lings in production. Looks like he's not going to go for some kind of death blow just yet.
No. This Banshee will eventually be able to clean up everything here, but of course its DPS is low enough that Zerglings can still do a bit of damage. The Hellions, that's going to be the real defensive measure there. So C is trying to stabilize at the moment, but his opponent's just continuing to move forward with aggression. Just endless aggression. That is kind of HyuN's calling card.
I wonder if HyuN was thinking at the beginning of this game, I'm going to try to win with just Lings, because why not? I'm better than C. I'm going to try to kill him with just Lings. But now he's actually getting a wave of 7 Infestors out, building a Roach Warren at around 13 minutes in. Still no Baneling nest that I've seen yet. Blue Flame is actually going to certainly help C quite a lot if he can get it out in the next couple of seconds. There it is, so he can just run up and torch these Lings incredibly quickly.
That's right. He has actually done a pretty good amount of damage here. It's forcing another 32 Lings out, and here we go. Maybe this is C's opportunity to start working his way back in. He's only killed 6 workers himself, but the damage is starting to mount.
The drone buffet. There's so many Hellions here. He should actually safely kill all of these drones and the next bunch of Lings that come out. Fungal is huge, though, for HyuN. Those infestors pop out right on top of the Hellions, able to fungal. And, these last few drones, I thought they might have survived, but no, C caught them right at the end. So double-digit workers killed there for C. If that had just been a little bit earlier, before he already lost 35 of his own, might have been a much better trade. But look at that. HyuN actually has lost about the same resources as C so far in this game.
That's right, but the resources lost were a bit earlier on for C, so they've kind of compounded a little bit as he tries to reestablish his mining. He is on, when this next round finishes, 50 workers to his opponent's 55, though, so quite a bit there. Oh, no, this poor Thor.
Oh, no.
It's not going anywhere.
I was like, what? The depot's down, and there's no Lings, though. And then I was like, oh, there's a Thor trapped in the add-ons. He can obviously lift a building later to let him out.
And he needs that Thor now.
He needs that other Thor to come out as well. So HyuN is on the move, marching toward this third base of C. These mules are not long for this world. The orbital command is going to float away pretty safely, though. And HyuN will actually work his way over to the left, just a little bit. But now he's got to deal with these Thors.
Okay, well, he's just going to try and brute force his way through. HyuN does burrows all of his infestors there. The roaches are just going to try and make their way in. The DPS from these infested Terrans is pretty high, and it is enough to bring down all of the Thors. That's GG. HyuN takes game number 2 of our best of 9.
All right, so HyuN off to a strong start as per usual, already at a 2-0 lead. C has forced a couple of 20-minute games, though, so, I mean, we've certainly seen worse. HyuN is actually just an incredibly good player, so C is trying to stay in there. The Thors did not quite work out. Hellions did a lot of damage, but I think the early Ling attacks were just too much for C to be able to build back from.
All right, well, that's game number 2 in the books. 2-0 advantage for HyuN for now. I'm in the shout-out mood right now. I don't know. Just tweet at us and you'll probably get a shout-out. But we had Patrick, actually, who came in on Twitter, who said he's sitting in class with the IPL Fight Club cast on in a small window. Come on, let's be honest. It's full screened right now. There's no paying attention to class with Fight Club. A guy goes to walk behind him and says, "Stupid Zerg OP." So
that's good.
Silly HyuN making Zerg look so good.
StarCraft is pretty universal, so it doesn't surprise me that places of higher education would have people walking by and thinking Zerg is OP. Totally normal.
Yes, clearly. All right, guys. Well, we're going to run to a commercial break, and when we get back, it's going to be time for game number 3.